Hey guys, we're using React Native Swiper in our project, and I wanted to show you guys how we were able to solve the adjacent views being partially visible. This was this is in the issues 299 that was posted, and a bunch of people seem to have been struggling with it, myself included. And we figured it out, and I wanted to try and show you what we did, and hopefully help out some of you guys. I thought this was easier to make a video and kind of show our setup than to give a bunch of code examples. So here we go. First thing is that our swiper, which I just have as a variable down here for this guy up here, it's inside of a view that is full screen, is the in the position absolute. In the top left corner of the app, you see this green border going across top. That's this container, and that's this guy right here. And if you notice, I've got flex direction row and justify content center. That's to center the slide within this guy. So, for example, if I change this guy to flex start, this will align the swiper to the the left side of the screen. We don't want that, right? We want it centered so that you can see the left and the right. The swiper, by the way, is this red border that I have. What's interesting about this plugin is that whenever you apply width to the quote swiper, and even the styles, like notice how I have the styles.swiper here, it puts on every single slide. Also, you can see this red going farther. It's wrapping around every single slide internally, which is a little odd, but you can still make this work. Anyway, so we've got our swiper here centered in the page, and the key thing is on the swiper you have two properties. One is the width, and the other one is the styles. Let's start with the width. So the width, I'm just exporting it from our style sheet and then importing it in our component up here. And the key about this width is that it can be anything you want, but obviously it wants to be smaller than the screen or whatever your container is. In our case, we wanted a full screen kind of swiper, so it's smaller than our screen, and we calculated that. I grabbed the window width and I subtracted 64 pixels. Gutter is equal to 16 in our project. We use gutter just to keep spacing and stuff consistent between all of our components. So thus, we would have 32 pixels of space on either side. So that's number one. So we've got that width value there. The second thing is the style property. The styles.swiper. The key here is overflow visible. And thank you, somebody up above, Rob Boo, for putting that, giving us that tip there, because that's absolutely critical, so you can see the overflow. The next important thing is the next child inside your swiper, what you're actually going to pass in. We're actually dynamically building our slides. This first guy, the slide container, all it is I got flex 1 on it so that it grows to the full size of the swiper, and I have it aligning items and justifying content center. If I actually put a border on this guy, you can see which guy I'm talking about here. There we go. So this blue one. So this is centering this orange bordered slide in the center of itself. You need this. So that's point number 2. And the next view inside of it is our visual slide. Now here's the final point, and this is really critical, that the swiper width, that the width of this slide is something smaller than the swiper width. Because if it's not, let's make it not this. Let's make it the same width. You'll notice that there's no spacing now between the slides. And maybe you like that look. I don't know. In our case, it didn't. I mean, it still works, but it just doesn't look as nice. So in our case, we didn't want that. So we did a gutter thing, and you can see how now this looks a little off center because of all the borders, but each slide is centered within the swiper, like in each. So in the swiper container, I guess is what we should say, is like, so you can see how the width gets smaller inside of each one. So if I increase this spacing doubles. We just chose something that we thought looked nice. So those were our gutter. So if I go ahead and remove these borders, here's what we're left with. And it looks nice. Looks really well. One thing to note is you can't drag over here and swipe, you actually have to be on the swiper to actually make it move. But for our use case, like the average user won't notice this. And this is actually another thing I'm about to bring up. We're actually dynamically adding these slides in, so you can see our network requests. I'm going to have to make an issue. What sucks is as we dynamically update them, at some point here it's going to fetch a new batch. It actually shows a loader like that, even though the slide's already been there, like reloads them. Anyway, just want to show you guys how it was working, and yeah, I hope it helps someone else.